I am Marcus Blake with That Nerd Show here at the 2019 Dallas International Film Festival. We are speaking with the filmmakers behind the Alice Cooper documentary, live from, and I'm about to mess up that name.
Live from the Astroturf.
There we go. This was one of my favorite docs as an Alice Cooper fan, so I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves.
Stephen Gaddis, director.
Cindy Dunaway. I did all of the costumes. I'm Neil's sister and Dennis's wife.
Dennis Dunaway, bass guitar.
Chris Penn, record store owner.
Yeah. And if you're an Alice Cooper fan, you better know who that guy is. All right, so it was fascinating to have all of this inside the store, and I'm a huge fan of the store, but how did you get into Alice Cooper? I'm going to start with you.
Well, it was my dad and my stepdad's record collection. We had our garage converted into a music room. So we had posters all on the wood paneling. We had a turntable set up. We actually had record racks in our garage. It wasn't a garage anymore. It was a music room. We even had display records on the wall. And I discovered Alice Cooper's records in there, and I would always listen to greatest hits. So I went back and discovered all the songs on there came from certain albums. So I started with Love It to Death and went to Killer and so on and so forth, up to Muscle of Love. And then I went back and discovered the two Weird records, Pretty's For You and Easy Action, which are fantastic as well. But the first 7 Alice Cooper records you can't touch them. They're untouchable. Fantastic.
Now, one of the unique things about your record store is that you get a lot of bands that come in there and play, and it's this very intimate setting. What was that like for you? Because that's got to be a little unreal, coming from big stadiums and your history.
Well, I play in all size rooms, and it doesn't matter. I mean, the energy can come just as strong from a small crowd as a big crowd. But also I felt at home because I spent a lot of hours flipping through vinyl albums in record stores, and supporting them now is important to me. But also it was just, his enthusiasm was infectious, and everybody had to get in the spirit, and we played well. That makes the difference. All the equipment was working, and we had pink Astroturf.
Yes.
Come on.
One of the things that you talk about is kind of the struggle of when you finally got that first hit, and the record companies still didn't want to promote you. What do you attribute to your real success?
Well, you mean when did I realize we had finally made it?
Yeah.
When we played the Hollywood Bowl. Before that, we had played big festivals, and we had played all kinds of things that other bands would mark as success, but with our image, we had a lot of people that didn't like us. We probably had more people that didn't like us than the people that liked us back then. So Hollywood Bowl, I said, nobody plays the Hollywood Bowl unless they've made it.
Very true. Now, I know you've had a lot of bands come through and all that. Do you feel like the pinnacle of your store is having Alice Cooper?
Yes, I mean, they're my all-time favorite group. They're my Beatles, and I'm going for Willie Nelson next. Willie, we're coming for you. But, back to Dennis's, how they made it was perseverance. They didn't stop. They would go to another city. They get their edge in Detroit, went to L.A., and start out in Phoenix. They didn't have a safety net. They were going to do it, or I don't know, sack groceries.
Actually, it's very similar to how this film comes across. It comes across because of his diligence. Hurdles were, not going to stop things. The Alice Cooper group was the same way. I mean, we just kept moving forward no matter what. And that's what made this film so great, with Steve working on it and doing all of the editing and it's full of heart. Tell them about it, Steve.
I'll just echo what he said. It's just, when you decide it's going to happen, you have to make it happen like that. And it's like, things are going to get in the way, but you just find a way around it. And that's how this thing happened, from the event to begin with to the film to this point where we're premiering it. This was going to be a vanity project for Chris, so he could remind himself that it happened. And I said, no, it's too good for that. This is history. So So now here it is, playing in theaters.
Right. Well, it's a great documentary, and I think you've got the greatest promo for your store. So, it was a pleasure to meet you guys. I can't wait to watch the doc again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Marcus Blake here at the 2019 Dallas International Film Festival. We are speaking with Mario, who plays Alice in the Dallas Cooper Band.
How you doing, folks?
All right, and for you nerds out there, you should already be loving this. So, what got you into Alice Cooper?
Actually, an older brother, and he would come home, from these concerts, and as a kid, I would just be, envious and drooling, looking at, the concert T-shirts, the LPs that he had. I would play them and scratch them all up. Sorry, Andre. So that was, and then eventually, old enough to go and see the shows myself, and I just loved. I've always been influenced by horror, and really classic horror, like the Universal horror. Once I got my fangs in that, so to speak, Alice Cooper was just an easy step from there.
Yeah, I can imagine. So it's the documentary is fantastic.
I've been watching all the trailers, and I can't wait to see it. I was supposed to be there that afternoon, and I won't say why I wasn't because it sucked. But, however, I'm looking forward to that and for performing for you guys tonight.
Right. So, what is your personal favorite Alice Cooper song?
As a personal favorite, it's a deep cut. It's called My Stars.
Oh, wow. All right. Really pulling out a nice reference there.
Definitely one of my favorite Alice Cooper songs. But, it's hard to choose, right off the top of my head. But, I go back to that one a lot. Yeah.
Now, I know that Kiss always gets the rep for, best dress up and all of that with their makeup. But let's be honest, Alice Cooper's a little bit better. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And even though we try and pay homage to him, frankly speaking, we can't afford a lot of the trinkets that he has to adorn himself. But we're getting close. I think Terry and I are probably about $6,000 in the hole each, trying to just building the sets because we have a fully functional guillotine. We have all of we have a lot of the lighting, a lot of the toy box, and then we pay a big crew. So yeah.
Well, hey, I don't care what anybody says. That's money well spent.
It is. Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
All right. So we like to ask all of our people that we interview a very nerdy question.
Oh.
Okay. So yeah, you bring it on. If you could have a weapon of choice or a superpower from within the nerd universe to fight the forces of evil, what would it be for you?
Oh goodness, that's really difficult. Well, I was always an X-Men nerd as a kid, and but I think I'd have to switch genders and go for Jean Grey.
Yeah, she just can do it all.
Phoenix rules. Yeah,
absolutely.
She's got it all. Yeah, Storm is close second. But good nerd question. I'm with you.
That always seems to be the toughest question we ask because nobody's prepared for it.
That's an easy one for me. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the X-Men. Great answer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.